There's a lot of gear out there that I'm sure you want, that we all want. I'm sure there's a lot of gear out there that you think you need because you've seen other people on YouTube or other people that you look up to who has a ton of gear. But the reality is you don't really need all of that gear. So today I've got 5 pieces of gear that I think you actually need. And before I get into that, take a moment real quick and just hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from myself, if you want to be alerted each time I post a video. But anyways, with all that being said and done, let's get into the first piece of gear. So this is going to be an obvious one, but I do think it needs to be said, is the first thing you actually need is some form of camera. Now that doesn't mean that you need to go out right now and buy the new Sony a7S III or whatever is the new camera at the time that you're watching this video. But what it does mean is that you do need to prioritize something to actually shoot the video on, of course. So that could even be your iPhone. Man, freaking iPhones are crazy good at shooting video nowadays. And there's actually a lot of things that phones do even better than top of the line mirrorless or DSLR cameras. So if that's all you have, don't feel bad about it, but I definitely would recommend getting some form of actual DSLR or mirrorless camera. The saying goes, the best camera is the one that you have. I do agree with that, but I've also heard it said this way, that the best camera is the one you can afford, and that is absolutely true. Right now I shoot on an a7 III, but that wasn't always the case. I started off on a very inexpensive, cheap Canon Rebel series camera, and that did me very, very well. In fact, it landed me my first several professional shoots. So camera is the first thing that you actually need. And then, so if that's number 1, I'm gonna give you like 1A because these things do go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other, and that is a lens. Now, this is where I wanted to spend just a little bit more time and give you more detail of what I actually mean. So with a lens, a lot of people think that your camera is the most important thing. Now, while cameras are, of course, very, very important, I would say that honestly, your lens selection is even more important. If you have a certain budget set aside for camera lens combo, trust me when I tell you this, get a good lens, like a nice lens. There's nothing wrong with getting the kit lens. I have shot with the kit lens. I have done good work with the kit lens. There's nothing wrong with it. But for your future, if this is something that you're serious about and you want to invest into, get a nice lens. All right, now that we got the obvious stuff out of the way, the second piece of gear that you actually need is light. Now, I just spent some time interviewing a buddy of mine, a new friend of mine, Mark Steiner, on my podcast. That's right, I am starting a podcast, so be on the lookout for that. And go ahead and check out Mark's channel as well too. But he's a really cool guy, an up and coming YouTuber, and he made the comment that once he bought an actual light, as opposed to just relying on natural light coming from a window, he noticed a dramatic increase in quality of his work. And I must agree with that as well. Lighting is honestly even more important than your camera. So let me give you a suggestion on what to get. Now, I'm sure, again, depending on when you're watching this video, there might be other options out there that are better, more affordable, all that good stuff. But for me, this is what I use, and I bring this light with me everywhere, and that is the Godox SL60W. It was like $130. I'm sure it still is, if not even cheaper than that right now. And I use it for everything, for my YouTube videos, for weddings, for professional client work. I use it for literally everything, and it's amazing. But of course, you need more than just the light. You do need the light stand and some sort of softbox. But because the light was so cheap, I also looked at other options that were on the affordable side of things. And I think I got my entire lighting setup for $200 or less. All right, the third piece of gear that you need is some form of audio equipment. So I'm going to give you a really specific recommendation on something that I would pick up, and that is the Trackstar, I believe is what it's called, Trackstar shotgun microphone. I will leave a link in the description below of what I'm talking about. It is like a $20 or $30 microphone, and there are reviews, there are comparisons on YouTube that you can go and watch right after this video that compare that shotgun microphone with the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus microphone. But listen to me. Look me in my face right now. You need good audio. This is not a joke. I am not telling you to go waste your money on something that you do not need. I am telling you right now, you need good audio or else your videos will suck. And even if you're just getting started, and even if you do have good audio, your videos will still probably suck, but having good audio will make them suck a little bit less. All right, the fourth piece of gear that I think you need is a tripod. Yay, tripods. We love talking about tripods. We don't. Tripods are not sexy. Tripods are not something that you want to spend your money on. But let me put it to you this way. Tripods are basically like birth control. They come in a lot of sizes, types, affordability. It's not something that you necessarily want to spend your money on. It's not even something that you necessarily think you'll need to spend your money on. But let me tell you something right here and right now. There will come a situation in life when you will want a tripod. And if you do not have a tripod, you will not like what life is like after not having a tripod. Do you get what I'm saying? Having a tripod is not something that I've ever just been like, that I've ever bragged about or been like, dude, check out my tripod. In fact, I have the cheapest tripod possible that I just found on Amazon for like literally $20 or $30. And it sucks. It's embarrassing showing up to like a real set with, but it holds my camera. It does what it's supposed to do. And I didn't spend a lot of money on it. And 3 years later, I still own it and it still works. All right, we are on the fifth and final piece of gear that I think you need. And I'm just curious, who's still watching this video right now? I'm very curious because I look at my analytics and not a lot of you make it this far. So if you have made it this far, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know who my real ones are. Man, I wanna be like, hey, thank you for sticking around and watching my whole video. The fifth piece of gear that I think you need is some form of bag, camera bag. You need a backpack. You need something to put your freaking camera and lens and microphone and everything in. That is a piece of gear that I literally use not even almost. I use my backpack every single day. And if you don't have one, you can just use a standard backpack, which is what I did for a long time. But again, you know, you don't want to be showing up to set with your JanSport. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want something that's actually not only going to look legit and professional, but actually do the job of a camera backpack, which is protect your gear. Obviously, man, I could have made this list so long in terms of, you know, pieces of gear that I have, that I've used, pieces of gear that, you know, is really, really cool and fun and nice to have. But at the end of the day, I'm talking to people who are just getting started, people who are looking for some sort of help and guidance. What do I do? What do I buy? Where do I go? All that stuff. You know, I know I didn't give you specific examples for each piece of gear, but I hope what I did give you was helpful. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed this video, if this video was even a smidgen of helpful or entertaining or fun or annoying or whatever, if you made it this far, I would love you to just hit that like button and just let me know if this is the type of stuff that you like seeing, I guess. So anyways, appreciate you guys for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one.